I miss the opera, the baseball game, lunch. A movie, yes, Forrest Gump, stayed by a broken machine, waiting for anyone, smarter than I am about internet. Down, up, collusion, connection, turn off, turn on, 3 times. The magic number today is not even the 13th. I will have a glass of wine to the future. Going to a concert after 70 years. I counted the heads of gray, all natural, celebrating habits of music. This was Shostakovich, their contemporary, writing in joy of life, fear of death, speaking to toe tappers, former dancers, active thinkers, friends for all 70 years, music scores, a real audience listening through hearing aids, penetrating deaf ears with new vigor, beat and vigor, pulsing, musicians joyful at their work, smiling. Raking through our pile of fall leaves, burying joys that once were. Puppies nibble at our heels and buoy us, digging into our own success, and everyone has a secret one. My color may be maple red or sun yellow or flat tan. What is yours? For Richard. Cranial creases, beautiful lines, shape, creative thinking, in oranges, yellows, reds, a little purple. New forms like old friends we see and we remember, gray stone softened by years of kindness. For Jim. Pearl gray music now, solemn low sterno. Bach's ostinato too drilling, Mahler too expansive, Gillespie perfect. I've lived with every one of their works, heard them daily, mooring my thoughts, anchoring the hours. For Marge. Folding my napkin simplifies my life. I have almost finished. My meal is too much. It wraps my life neatly into the squares. 8 children unwrapped my days, stirring the soups. For Helen. Gently, forcefully, softly. Deftly she walks her days mindfully. The roses get water, the birds are fed, the readings in the papers. We throw up our hands. She is capable of handling almost anything. But for Eugenia. I am Russian, packaged with stories about my past and Holocaust heritage, like my missing bags, relatives' memories deleted from my life text. I have been here nearly 40 years and learned new things every one of my days, lectures, music, especially Boris Godunov. For Jane. Share stories graciously. Introduce friends to be sure we know each other, each day, every day. Red lipstick and rims for glasses, brightening her day and ours. For Dorothy. Since the elementary school of my life, her performances have made my day, my year. When she performs, she brings life to this day, fresh with the vigor of a 90-year-old youth, pathos and feisty energy, catching the stars of the years for all of us. For Blanche. Creator of lines, shaped, small sculptures, pendants for women, fractured by age, gloried by color for the queens in all of us. For Beth. The sound of words against the found idea, matted against surrounding music, maybe. For Jim, lying under the skin of nightlight, I listen to the music we both hear even now. It keeps you here with me. The shadows of light and night defined our future and leave me to define mine. For Irene, sitting at lunch with the discussants of today, daily glee club practices in a living room sang again. Ice cream melting from Ben & Jerry's, Mitchell's, honey nut dripping over the years, chocolate drizzle, coffee mocha, mint-laced tongues licking our words. For Mary, hand in the cookie jar. Now it's her turn to snitch with the whole room watching. Leftovers from childhood, smarts and innocence. How many times has the hand been in the jar? Now no one would mind, since she does it with practice and grace. For those who can see, the hallways are trails like former forest paths, bird feeders for the clan of sparrows who can smell the roses too. Friends reading, helping each other see or hear the chatter. Everyone goes to their rooms or trees until tomorrow. For Nancy, heart in music, heart in painting, heart in storytelling. Hearts anyone? For the dogs that visit, Molly, slow and sleek. Oscar, just plain comfortable. Lucy, a true lapdog, fur soft as new fuzz on an old dog. All like the treat I have, the secret of my success, and I get to pet them. A place for everyone. Sunday is Times Day, for those who still read. Big Screen Day, for those who can still hear. Memory Cafe Day, to help us remember the stories we may have laid aside for a while, waiting for a new audience. Can you hear them? A place for mastering one's soul. Mastering one's soul is easiest when memories return non sequitur, and we spend time, all the time, sorting them from self-summaries that hold us steady, moving us onward peacefully. Fretful confrontation easiest in dreams that disappear with daylight, disagree with daylight, sometimes reappearing the next night. A place for pleasantries and honest talk. My corner room is a forest, a meadow, the lake, if I look far enough, a central park in Ohio. My neighborhood when a car passes on the city street below. A place for resting. The bid for seeds send rest of sparrows to the ground, for the spill from the foraging squirrel, the governing cardinal, the gossiping jay. This is a busy place. Fawns and moms come to see, then saunter elsewhere of greater interest. A place for seeing color. That same patio is best for looking at color, picked for a piece of memory or to renew spirit. Bright red flowers in large planters, roses good enough to drive away doldrums, dark green trees home to nests, light green planted leaves primed by sun and rain, mid-green ground, cloth on a slope, reflecting this year's moisture, perfect vision for imperfect eyes, more than a quick glance, only gained by sitting quietly daily. A place for peace. Turning the leaves of books, turning the corners of the years, turning time with times, turning from sun to shade, turning in tune with the wind, turning a mind full of gains and losses, turning the pages again and again. A place for peace. A struggling piece of life's cloth, just a bit left to sew the hem. You fill the patchwork of colors and cottons or velvets for life's best moments, soft and lush. A few coarse strands for the raw textures that are interspersed. I can feel moments through these threads and move to smooth them now. For Margaret, at 105, she can pick my flowers anytime. She knows how to do it right, as the gardener she was. Her eyes see anything brown. She and the colors melt into the sun. They are her private treasure. A place for mornings. Is there such a thing as grace with pain? Edges unraveling, knotting speech, blunting senses, cutting vision, and hunger. Inside there are always tears. For Marilyn B. In August, the moat orange month, with sun rays hot and heavy in our summer of demise, beautiful plants stand tall and steady, facing certain fall. They have faced the storms, survived wet and cold. They have danced with the wind, floated petals of love like Venetian glass angled in the sun. Everyone has a choice of being a purple lilac of spring or dahlias of August. You are an August dahlia. A place for peace. Different from sudden attacks, forcing us into a new way of breathing. We mourn even before it is officially morning time. When people are not who they were and don't know who they are. We climb the mountain of years between us, gasping for air, struggling for words and hope. We are autonomous robots of our own making, are thinking crowds between memory and action, narrow passageways, small turns, big breaths, simmering against life itself. A place for peace. Each garden is perennial, striking a compromise between the lilies and ground cover, perfect portraits of flowerhood or earthbound green. Each one of us has a chosen place, a duration, a compromise, a life prepared and unprepared for taking chances. This garden is special. Are you a rose today, azalea tomorrow? I can smell dianthus to begin my day, bougainvilleas from a trip to Spain. Imagine lilacs all year round. Bring sunflowers to the conversation. My family gardeners have saved my soul. A place for peace. From an old Irish hymn. Wake now my senses on this 30th day, senses surrounding silvery grief. Frame my tomorrow in a new way. Wake now my reason as I head to September, with fall's palette of colorful leaf. Wake now compassion and then remember to honor August's garden at this fragile time, buttressed by friendships and feelings aligned. 150 years of faces. 150 years of faces, a quilt of photos laid out upon my bed. I have met some of them on shelves, sleeves in the wedding albums, in the back of the old scrapbook marking a part in the Haggadah. They are on the piano, on the bookcase, on the cart, on the table in front of the window. My grandfather sits in a grand frame on the floor. My grandmother is on the wall, hair swept up, regal and blonde, above her high collar, just like a famous portrait by a famous artist. Now I need more. What was she like, holding that baby, my grandmother? I do not know them. I did not hug them. My father tried to tell me how they lived when they came to settle here from Poland. Stories stumble from the pictures. Relatives and friends tell theirs. Sentences end in old lilac bushes, in the deep antique rose, in the trail of wisteria perfume, mulled cinnamon, clove, and winter spices, old recipes in my grandmother's handwriting. I cannot know unless I am told. I cannot believe unless I know. I cannot hug them unless they are in my dreams, and I am in the pictures with them. At the museum. Yesterday, I got lost on a 2-lane road when I was supposed to turn. For 11 miles, I shared space with one biker until he disappeared in the seat of the valley, body hunched to the road. I passed him. No cars, tree forms in the yellow harvest, brown guideposts, wheat waiting to be cut. Today at the museum, minefield of labels, images stalking the words I want to talk back to the painting. It was a purple road, and the biker's cap was yellow. Meadow sprinkle of nasturtium on salad greens, wheat bending like a paintbrush. I was a painter. It was our space. Yesterday, real perspective, orange sun on the window, through side streets and decay. Today, I look at paintings and remember to celebrate survival, withering. 3 weeks, 6 deaths. Friends alive when seen a month ago or in memory, hunched over life, laughing at themselves, unknowing. They had no way of knowing truth, waiting for the other sock out of the wash, waiting for rubber bands to hold their sides together, waiting to argue, waiting to tell time, waiting to know night from day, waiting in line.